Let me be very honest with you from the start. 2026 is not coming to save you. It's not bringing mercy, discounts, or second chances. It's coming with higher costs, fewer opportunities, and zero sympathy for people who refuse to adapt. If you're still relying on hope instead of skills, motivation instead of systems, and comfort instead of discipline, 2026 will feel brutal. But here's the truth most people won't tell you: this year won't destroy everyone. It will only expose those who are unprepared. The world has quietly changed. Money doesn't move the way it used to. Jobs aren't loyal anymore. Degrees don't guarantee safety. Inflation doesn't ask for permission. And technology doesn't wait for anyone to catch up. The people who suffer the most won't be the lazy ones. They'll be the ones who stayed average while the world demanded excellence. If you're broke in 2026, it won't be because you're unlucky. It will be because you didn't upgrade fast enough. Here's the first uncomfortable reality you must accept. Income is no longer about how hard you work. It's about how valuable you are. You can work 12 hours a day and still stay poor if your skills are replaceable. Survival in 2026 starts with learning one high-income skill that the market actually pays for. Something that solves a problem, saves time, or makes money for others. The moment you stop being easily replaceable, the world starts paying you differently. The second reality is discipline will matter more than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but systems stay. Broke people wait to feel ready. Prepared people move even when it's uncomfortable. In 2026, the gap between those who manage their money and those who spend emotionally will be unforgiving. If you don't track where your money goes, your money will disappear without explanation. Survival means budgeting like your life depends on it, because financially it does. Another harsh truth: social media has trained people to chase fast results, but 2026 will reward patience and consistency. The people who win won't be the loudest. They'll be the ones quietly building skills, saving aggressively, and investing early. You don't need to be rich to start, you need to be intentional. Even small, consistent actions will compound faster than you expect, while excuses will cost more than you realize. And let's talk about mindset, because this is where most people lose before they even start. In tough years, complaining becomes addictive. Blaming the economy, the government, or your background feels comforting, but it changes nothing. Survivors take responsibility even when life is unfair. They ask, "What can I control today?" And then they act on it. That mindset alone will separate you from 90% of people in 2026. The same year that breaks broke people will create massive opportunities for prepared ones. When others panic, you learn. When others spend, you save. When others quit, you build. This is not about becoming rich overnight, it's about becoming unbreakable. Financial survival in 2026 isn't luxury, it's stability, flexibility, and peace of mind. So if you're listening to this right now, take it as a warning and an invitation. A warning that staying the same is no longer safe, and an invitation to evolve before life forces you to. Start learning. Start cutting unnecessary expenses. Start building skills that pay. Start acting like your future depends on today, because it does. In 2026, the market will not ask how hard you tried or how many hours you worked. It will only ask one question: how valuable are you? This is the brutal truth most people avoid because it forces accountability. You can be busy every single day and still move nowhere financially if the work you do can be replaced easily. The world no longer pays for effort, it pays for outcomes. If what you offer does not directly solve a problem, save time, or generate revenue, your income will always be fragile, no matter how sincere your intentions are. Loyalty to a job will not save you, but loyalty to your skill will. Companies change, industries shrink, and roles disappear, but a high-value skill travels with you everywhere. When you build something inside your mind that the market needs, you stop begging for opportunities and start choosing them. This is the difference between people who panic during economic pressure and people who stay calm while others fall apart. The biggest mistake people make is confusing passion with value. Passion feels good, but value pays bills. In the coming years, the winners will be those who align their interests with market demand. Skills like problem-solving, communication, data analysis, digital marketing, sales, and financial literacy are not trends. They are survival tools. The moment you stop asking, "What do I like doing?" and start asking, "What does the market urgently need?" your financial trajectory begins to change. Another hard reality is that being average is no longer safe. Average skills now produce below average results. Technology and automation are quietly replacing tasks that once provided stable income. If you are not upgrading, you are slowly becoming invisible. Every year you delay learning, someone else is stepping ahead of you. The gap is not created overnight, but once it opens, it becomes extremely difficult to close. This is why urgency matters now, not later. Value is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through consistent, boring repetition. Most people want quick wins, but professionals understand that mastery compounds. Spending one focused hour a day learning a high-income skill will outperform years of casual effort. The market rewards depth, not surface-level knowledge. When you know something better than most people, you gain leverage, and leverage is what creates financial stability. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is moving from being a cost to being an asset. A cost is someone who needs supervision, training, and constant direction. An asset is someone who brings solutions, clarity, and results. Assets are protected in hard times, costs are removed. This distinction alone explains why some people thrive during economic pressure, while others struggle to survive. If you want security, stop asking what you can get paid and start asking how much value you can create. There is also a mindset shift required here. Stop waiting to feel confident before you start. Confidence comes after competence, not before it. Every expert you admire once felt unqualified. They moved anyway. They learned while doing. They accepted being uncomfortable. In 2026, hesitation will be more expensive than failure. The cost of waiting will be higher than the cost of making mistakes. When you become valuable, something powerful happens internally. You stop living in fear of layoffs, inflation, or uncertainty. You gain options. You can negotiate better, pivot faster, and think longer term. Value gives you breathing room, and breathing room gives you peace. This is not about becoming rich overnight. It's about becoming relevant in a world that constantly changes. The market is always paying attention, even when you are not. It is rewarding those who prepare quietly while others stay distracted. If you choose to invest in your skills now, you are not just increasing your income, you are protecting your future. In a brutal year, value is not a luxury. It is survival. Most people believe motivation is the secret to success, but motivation is unreliable. It shows up when life feels easy and disappears the moment pressure arrives. In 2026, pressure will not ask how inspired you feel. Bills will not wait for your mood to improve. That is why discipline, not motivation, will determine who survives financially and who keeps struggling. Discipline is quiet, repetitive, and often uncomfortable, but it works even on the days you feel tired, doubtful, or unconfident. Motivation feels powerful, but discipline is unstoppable. Motivation makes promises, discipline keeps them. When the economy tightens, emotions become unstable. Fear, anxiety, and comparison take over, and people start making emotional decisions with money. Discipline is what protects you from yourself. It is what stops you from spending impulsively, quitting too early, or delaying important actions just because they feel uncomfortable. In tough financial years, the smallest habits create the biggest differences. People often wait for a dramatic breakthrough, but survival is built through boring routines done consistently. Tracking your expenses, saving before spending, and reviewing your finances weekly may not feel exciting, but these actions quietly build control. Control over money creates clarity. And clarity removes panic. Panic is expensive. Discipline is profitable. Discipline also means learning to operate without immediate rewards. In a world trained by instant gratification, this skill alone puts you ahead of most people. Studying after work, saying no to unnecessary expenses, and sticking to long-term plans require delayed satisfaction. Most people quit at this stage because the results are not visible yet. The disciplined ones continue, knowing that progress is happening even when it cannot be seen. Another uncomfortable truth is that discipline exposes your priorities. People say they want financial freedom, but their daily actions reveal something else. Freedom is built in private moments when no one is watching, when you choose preparation over entertainment, structure over chaos, and consistency over comfort. In 2026, comfort will be expensive. Those who protect their comfort today will pay for it tomorrow. Discipline is not about being extreme, it is about being intentional. It is not punishment, it is self-respect. When you manage your money properly, you are telling your future self that it matters. When you stick to routines, even on bad days, you are building trust with yourself. That trust becomes confidence, and confidence changes how you show up in opportunities, negotiations, and decisions. There is also a mental strength that comes with discipline. When life becomes uncertain, disciplined people stay calm because they have systems in place. They know where their money is going. They know what they are working toward. Systems remove guesswork, and guesswork is what creates stress. While others react emotionally, disciplined individuals respond strategically. One of the biggest reasons people remain stuck is inconsistency. They start strong and stop quieter. Discipline removes this pattern. It turns progress into a lifestyle instead of a phase. Even when motivation disappears, discipline keeps the engine running. That is why disciplined people often look lucky. They are not. They are simply consistent long enough for results to catch up. In 2026, discipline will not just be a personal trait, it will be a survival skill. The ability to manage your behavior under pressure will matter more than talent, intelligence, or ambition. Those who master discipline will move steadily forward while others remain trapped in cycles of starting and stopping. When motivation fades, and it will, discipline will be the reason you keep moving. Most people don't fail because they lack opportunity. They fail because they give away their power. The moment you blame the economy, your background, your boss, or your past, you hand control of your future to something you cannot influence. In 2026, this mindset will be costly. Responsibility is not about being harsh on yourself, it is about being honest. When you take full ownership of your decisions, your skills, and your outcomes, you regain the one thing that creates change: control. Life does not become fair when you complain, but it becomes manageable when you take responsibility. Tough years expose habits, not luck. When money becomes tight, excuses feel comforting because they protect the ego, but they also freeze progress. The people who survive difficult periods are not those with perfect circumstances. They are the ones who refuse to stay powerless. Responsibility begins with understanding that your current situation is feedback, not punishment. If your income is unstable, it is feedback about your skills. If your savings are weak, it is feedback about your habits. This perspective removes shame and replaces it with strategy. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" responsible people ask, "What can I change today?" That single question shifts you from reaction to action. One of the biggest mental traps is waiting for external rescue. Many people are secretly hoping that the economy improves, a better boss arrives, or a new opportunity magically appears. In reality, no one is coming. That realization is uncomfortable, but it is also freeing. When you stop waiting to be saved, you start building. Progress accelerates the moment you accept that your future depends more on your actions than on external conditions. Taking responsibility also means making hard decisions early. Cutting expenses, changing routines, or learning new skills is easier before a crisis hits. Most people delay these decisions because they are inconvenient. In 2026, delay will be expensive. Responsibility is choosing discomfort now to avoid disaster later. It is choosing growth over denial. There is also a psychological strength that comes with responsibility. When you own your choices, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding intentionally. This mindset builds resilience. Resilient people don't break under pressure, they adapt. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but habits are permanent. That belief alone creates forward momentum when others feel stuck. Another powerful shift happens when you stop outsourcing blame. Instead of blaming time, you manage it. Instead of blaming money, you learn how to handle it. Instead of blaming fear, you act despite it. Responsibility forces clarity. Clarity leads to better decisions. Better decisions compound quietly over time, creating results that look sudden to outsiders in difficult years. Responsibility becomes a competitive advantage. While many people spend energy complaining, responsible individuals spend energy building. They read, learn, plan, and execute. They focus on progress, not perfection. Even small improvements, when owned and repeated, create massive change. Responsibility turns ordinary actions into powerful habits. Taking responsibility does not mean you ignore reality. It means you acknowledge reality without surrendering to it. You accept what you cannot control and master what you can. This balance creates confidence that is not dependent on external validation. When you know you are doing everything within your control, fear loses its grip. In 2026, responsibility will separate those who stay stuck from those who move forward. It will determine who adapts and who collapses under pressure. When you choose responsibility over excuses, you stop waiting for conditions to improve and start improving yourself. That choice alone can change everything.